Remember that poll on the official Digimon site for your favourite Digimon TV anime main character, rookie level? Well, it was the 100th poll in the current series. And the results are in. Drumroll please, the winner is none other than Gilmon. Gilmon snagged the top spot as your favourite rookie level main character from the TV anime world. Gilmon, the bread-loving buddy from the third season, stole the show by being born from Takato Matsuda's scribbled notes being read by the D-Arc. Coming in at a close second is Vmon, the chocolate-loving partner of Davis Motomiya, born when the Digimental of Courage was lifted from Digimon Adventure 02, followed by the ever-hungry Agumon, Taichi Yagami's loyal sidekick from Digimon Adventure, reboot included. So, stay tuned for future polls covering the other evolutions. Crunchyroll has now included Digimon Frontier with Japanese audio and English, Spanish, and probably other subtitles in Europe. This comes roughly 3 years after Digimon Adventure and 02 was added with subtitles on Crunchyroll in Europe. However, there's still no sign of the third season, which would complete the lineup of subbed versions of the original 4 anime on Crunchyroll Europe. So let's talk about Alphamon Ouryuken in Digimon New Century. Its normal skill attacks a single enemy with the Ouryuken, dealing damage that ignores a certain percentage of the target's defense. Outside of its turn, it uses the Holy Sword to attack designated and random targets multiple times, causing damage and has a chance to dispel several of the target's buff effects. Its ultimate skill unleashes the Ouryuken Assault, removing all abnormal status from itself, applying spatial lock to a designated target, lowering its defense and tenacity, with this effect ignoring the target's resistance. Afterward, it deals damage. Following the Ouryuken Assault, it unleashes the Holy Sword Grid Alpha to attack all enemies multiple times, ignoring all their buff effects. Its signature move transforms itself into the Holy Sword form outside of its turn, ignoring the target's invincibility and shields when attacking. During its turn, it transforms into the Ouryuken form, becoming invincible and immune to all abnormal statuses. Before suffering a fatal blow in the Holy Sword form, it nullifies the damage and teleports to another dimension until its next turn. This effect has a cooldown period of several rounds. After actively using this skill, it returns to its initial state at the beginning of the battle, gaining the spatial shelter effect, unable to act outside of its turn and not benefiting from the effects of the Holy Sword form and the Ouryuken form. The spatial shelter effect is lifted after the start of the next major round, granting an additional action round immediately, then entering the gravitational wave state, during which it cannot actively use its signature move again until the current major round ends. When it lifts the spatial shelter effect or returns from another dimension, it increases its own AP points, and its attacks during the current turn are guaranteed critical hits. Its passive skill boosts its own attack power, damage reduction, and damage increase. When it knocks down a target with an active attack, it summons a legendary monster in the empty space, and the corresponding target on the enemy side cannot be resurrected while the summon is active. This effect can only be triggered once per action round. The legendary monster cannot be damaged or affected by skills and cannot be targeted, with attributes identical to Alphamon Ouryuken. After it attacks, all legendary monsters on the field will launch additional attacks against the main target of Alphamon Ouryuken, causing damage. After this Digimon is defeated, all the legendary monsters it summoned will disappear together. For each legendary monster on the field, its own critical hit damage is increased. Additionally, this Digimon is not affected by paralysis status. As for PvE team building, Imperial Dramon Paladin mode is a multi-target output character with a high percentage of defense penetration, able to deal a large amount of damage to enemies in conjunction with Alphamon Ouryuken. Dijiangmon has a high aura that reduces enemy attack and defense attributes, providing significant assistance in clearing dungeons, and when combined with Alphamon Ouryuken's defense reduction and tenacity reduction effects, it can greatly increase damage in dungeons. Jukemon X can provide the team with damage reduction aura and enhance the lineup's survivability by increasing maximum HP. Sakuyamon X, as an auxiliary unit that combines buffs, healing, and resurrection, is an indispensable choice for clearing dungeons. A PvP team would include Goldramon X paired with Erlangmon, can counterattack multiple times during the enemy's turn and apply ceiling marks, restricting the enemy's use of crucial ultimate skills, creating better output space for Alphamon Ouryuken. Sakuyamon X, as the strongest protection and crowd control support, can effectively increase the team's resilience. Jukemon X can provide damage reduction and critical resistance aura for the team, further enhancing Ouryuken's combat power. When the battle extends, Jukemon X's ultimate skill also has powerful game-ending capabilities. As for plugin and talent point recommendations, players should maximize Alphamon Ouryuken's output capabilities. The Assault plugin has a higher damage ceiling for targets with buff effects. Alphamon Ouryuken's animations in Digimon New Century are an exact copy of the confrontation between Alphamon Ouryuken and Omegamon in Digimon Tri. It seems that the animations in the game Digimon New Century are directly inspired by the battle between these two powerful Digimon. The evolutionary lines of Jellymon and Angoramon from Digimon Ghost Game are now complete in the PC game Digimon Masters Online. Another stunning artwork by Akamine Naoki, the talented illustrator of the official Appman manga, has been completed. The piece is titled Sea Monster of Sincerity and features Joe with his crest of reliability, alongside Zudamon's flowing tail, reminiscent of ocean waves. The artwork also showcases Zudamon's shell and golden shadows of small fish, arranged in the style of marching fishes. The first part of the second episode of the webcomic Digimon Liberator is up, titled Out of Control. Now, we're going to discuss a few things about it, so be warned about spoilers. First, we catch a glimpse of the web novel characters, Yuki and Impmon in particular, the guy with Fanbimon and the one paired with Frigimon. But it's a nice tease because they don't show their faces. They are shown with their backs turned or with hoods, or their faces are simply not detailed. The cover of the chapter features Arisa and Shumon, but so far the highlight has been on Teromon, who appears just in time to save the day and claims, Lugamon-like, that all those lands are its home. It claims that high-level NPCs who want to engage in situation battles are not welcome in that otherwise peaceful area. In this part, we see a bunch of Terramon evolutions: Fluffymon, Terramon, Galemon, Grangalmon. We also get to see Crispaledramon and Hexablaumon evolving on the enemy side. The chapter ends with Terramon seemingly joining the battle, as it says, "Now it's my turn to get in the game." The turn skipping may be a bit weird, but if they drew everything, the chapter would be ridiculously long. They mostly just skip some evolutions and a few security attacks, so it's acceptable. However, they're really counting on people already knowing the card game rules and such. With these skipped evolutions and off-screen moments, you can kind of get lost. Plus, it appears that even when a Terramon card is played, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the actual Terramon on the field. The actual partner remains in the D storage talking to Shoto. However, that last line in the comic suggests the Digimon can choose to join the battle. But the question is whether any random Digimon like Muchomon have actual sentience, or if they're just basic partner AI or holograms. The first bit of the web novel will go up on May 22nd. The announced part of what will go up is Debug 1.1 through 2.2, which appears to be 2 chapters. I have to say, the loading has notably improved on the official website, so now everyone should be able to read the comic smoothly. In the recently unveiled Liberator card titled Vortex Resonance, we see Arisa and Shoto alongside their Digimon partners. In the background, the girl paired with Ghostmon is looking at them and appears a bit puzzled. She kind of reminds me of Suzaki Aru from Cross Wars Hunters, who also had a floating partner, Opossumon and Alice McCoy from the 3rd season. The blonde, mysterious girl with the Dobemon. At least their gothic-themed clothes and hairstyle are quite similar. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.